So we've been running an investigation a couple years back regarding financial inclusion. So many of the immigrants who came to Norway had trouble opening up their bank account, partly because that it took such a long time for the permit to be granted. So literally they're waiting at least a year or more to open up their very first bank account. How are you going to work with the UDI, and how are you going to work with the banks in order for a big, a quicker transition for the newcomers or immigrants who are going to come here today?
I can only say it's on the to-do list of 10 important things. As for example, if Americans come to Norway, they cannot have a driving license. It's an issue. So we have at least 10 practical issues that we need to fix. And then we have things to fix so they can be happy when coming here. And we often have to do what we call expectation management, so people know what will come to Mo i Rana with all the benefits and let's say the darkness, etc. So it is recognized, it's an issue. We don't have the result or the solution yet, but please keep on asking, and we will have to figure that out. I totally agree.
Great, thank you. That's my questions.
What programs or initiatives are in place in order to educate the population about diversity and inclusion and the value of it, rather than just focusing on work all the time, but the value of relationships and friendships and cultural diversity in the community. Is there a program, and will it be sustaining?
Welcome to Mo i Rana has established 6 different arenas where we are working in cooperation with the private sector, the civil society, the population, and the newcomers, and obviously the government. So the key for inclusion, and I agree with you, it is more a question of inclusion than integration, is definitely to have everyone on board. We need to understand the needs of the newcomers, with the different age group, the different profile of the migrants, but we also need to make the population part of this growth. So that has been the foundation of the project. In one word, it is how we can create a community around diversity, and this is what we're working on. So we have created arenas to talk about culture, to talk about difference, as Gary was mentioning, the MINT, it's the Mo i Rana International Group, where we are welcoming both newcomers but also the local in those different groups. So this is the key for sustainability in terms of integration, is really to welcome everyone to be part of this change and to hear and respond to all the voices that are composed by the community today. Thank you.
We have a very strong and good program in the field of the cultural orientation, which is not only focused on the migrants but also on the municipalities, because they are the ones, the agents are the ones who will work with the newcomers and also with the communities. So just to reassure you that that's why we are concretizing this MoU today, because it's very important to base the existing knowledge and tools and mechanism to progress and to tailor a good vision in this project.
So I've been following closely what's going on with Northvolt and the very quick and extreme growth, which is very exciting, of course, but it comes with its growing pains, and just hearing, bringing all the cultures together, short-term labor and long-term labor. And I'm not so clear on what exactly Shreft is doing to handle all those issues, but I know it's been challenging, and yet also very positive. And I think I'm a bit biased, but I'm very happy that Rana Kommune is partnering with IOM, with the experience that we have internationally, because I know Shreft is not doing that. So I'm very excited about this opportunity and look forward to this partnership going forward. Thank you. No question, actually. Just a comment. But actually, I do. Well, I can add a question. Have you been talking to like Skellefteå and finding out about lessons learned or what they're following, what their progress is, and working with them on this at all? This could go to you.
I'm actually going over there just in 2 weeks now, I think, to have a meeting with Peter Olofsson, my colleague in Västerbotten. And the aim of that meeting is to see how we, to a larger, in a larger way, can look at this area, the Arctic, the European Arctic, as one region. Because if we are going to recruit people from all over the world, I don't really think if you live in Korea that you know the difference between North Norway and North Sweden. It's up there more or less the same. So we have to work together to be kind of attractive, but we also have to work together on what the last question was about. How do we meet the people that are moving to a region that is very strange for them? Because we who live there, who are Nordlänningar or Northerners, or what you should call it, our dream is to have a family and live in a single family house just outside the town center with a large garden and the cross-country slopes just beside the front door. I am not sure that is what people coming from other places in the world are dreaming about. So we have to change also. It is not enough that people that come to us, they learn to wear the bunad and eat the stockfish. We also have to show that we really would like to be an international society. And if we're going to manage that, I think it's mostly about walk the walk and talk the talk. So we have to start to define ourselves as part of Europe, part of the world, international societies, and start changing also how we kind of live our lives. If we are going to make people coming from abroad to thrive in our regions, we have to change as well. We cannot every Friday pack our families into the car and go to our cabin in the mountains, leaving the newcomers behind in town. That is not a nice thing to do. So these are some of the things that I'm going to talk to my colleague in Västerbotten about in just 2 weeks. That was a long answer to a very short and really easy question.
And I have a question for the mayor. I don't know if you could say a bit more about the recruitment process that you envision. Like, could you say a few more words about how you're going to recruit, the newcomers to Mo i Rana, to Rana kommune? Thank you.
When you recruit people, very often you want to recruit one, but you will recruit 2 persons and to work together in a network between the people in all the businesses. So this will be done in a teamwork, and it will be done together with Welcome to Mo i Rana, the project.
We are doing our recruitment ourselves, all of it, until now. But what we do in the future, I don't know. Because it will be a lot of people coming to Mo i Rana, and the industry especially. So I hope we will do it ourselves, because we are very careful. It's a great cost of hiring people. So we have to be good at the first try.
And the goal of this network is to tackle the challenges. So that means we need to advertise more jobs. We need to advertise more jobs in English, and we need also to try to match some skills. As Terje was mentioning, some spouses could be actually one of the skills that we really need into the community. So we really trying to match all the different arenas. So recruitment means also what happens when you are actually looking for the job advertised and you are sitting in Shanghai. What does the city say what can you picture yourself moving in with your family? So it involves so many questions that we really need to work together to answer all those different needs.
The commune now building new schools, or will there be an international school or English-speaking school added, or will there just be a very strong effort to teach Norwegian and include foreign students and children into the Norwegian system?
We're actually thinking about placing the international school within the public school system, which is not been done other places than in Manglerud in Norway before. But we think there is a great amount of benefits doing just that. And we're working to have what we call løpende barnehageopptak, which is everyone getting a kindergarten place as they come. It's not so easy, and there is different reasons. One is that we have problems recruiting people to work in the kindergartens. So also there is a possibility. And there's been a lot of talking about people having people coming working in the industry. We need a lot of people coming to work in the public sector as well. We need teachers, we need people working in the kindergartens, we need doctors, a lot of doctors actually, and we need nurses. So there's a great amount of different work areas that are beside of the industry development.
This sounds like music for me, because I've stayed in north of Norway in the 80s and the beginning of 90s, and I felt alone.
Where?
I was in Buda.
Okay.
So when you talk about things like that, all these plans, it's like, wow, things have really changed, and it's good in a positive way. But what I also want to add is about, we talked about it just now when you were visiting our office. It's very, very important to think about the spouses that are coming, because it's not all of them who have education. Maybe some of them can't even read and write. If you have a husband who have a degree, or the wife have a degree, but maybe the husband doesn't, I would say the wife have a degree, but maybe the husband doesn't have that degree. And he also have to fit within the society, knowing that he's also taken good care of. And also, we are now living in a digital world, and it's not all migrants who have that digital competence. So all of these things have to be added in whatever plans that are made. And I agree that it's not only about integration, but it's also about inclusion. And when you're dealing with inclusion, it's also important to think about, it's not about the migrants coming, but also the society. How to include people in whatever you do, which is very, very important for the children, for the family, and for people to stay. If you want people to stay, you have to include them in whatever you do. And they are coming with different cultural backgrounds. The cultural code is very, very important to learn. Very, very important, because things can be looked at in another way in the north of Norway, but it can be different for somebody from another country. So all those things are very, very important if we want people to stay. But really, this is amazing. I wish it was the time when
Thank you. Thank you very much, and I think on that positive note we will conclude that.